beach. I've basically been fired from every single job I've ever worked in my life. I'm really talented. Once I left my job with all the money in the register because I thought it was mine. And they called me and they were like, where's all the money? And I was like, I thought these were my tips. Fired. I got fired from a job because my boss was in Shanghai. So she wasn't in the office. And I was like, well, I don't have to be in the office either. She called me and she's like, Marie, where are you? I was like, sis, I'm in the office. You hear me typing? And she was like, I just called and they said that you're not in there. And I was like, oh, well, that feels like racism because I'm sitting next to Tessa. Who did you speak to? Fired. I steal from every job I've ever booked. If I've ever worked with you, I stole from you or the company, allegedly. I'm stealing office supplies, makeup, bottles of Belvedere. I'm stealing. I stole this because it was on a white lady's desk and I was like, that feels problematic. This is mine now. Look at her booty, cutie. When I was in college, I was the world's crappiest bartender because I didn't know how to make anything and I had an attitude problem and I would steal bottles of Patron for my friends' birthdays. I was a terrible employee, but a phenomenal friend. Such a good friend. The first job I ever had, I was a camp counselor for 3- and 4-year-olds and I almost drowned in a pool with the kids and the kids laughed at me the whole time. They were like, Miss Marie can't swim. Fuck them kids. They were all ugly and they couldn't put their shoes on the right feet. So they were also dumb. I used to never give 2 weeks notice for jobs. I would just leave. I would be walking out on a Tuesday and I'd be like, I'm not coming back tomorrow. That was my last day. And I would just leave. One time, one job, I gave 2 weeks notice. And they were like, Marie, if you're not happy, you could leave right now. And I was like, you're stuck with me for 2 more weeks. And they were like, no, we'll escort you out. They watched me clock out and then they walked me all the way to the sidewalk. I was like, I couldn't even steal anything. And I couldn't get no family meal. I was like, can I eat something before I go? Like, what happened to when you're here, your family? They were like, that's Olive Garden and you don't work here no more. And I was like, okay. So if you work in the service industry, you should eat before you quit. That's all I'm saying. When I was a host, I would like crop dust the whole restaurant. When I would see people, I would just be like, and people would be like, what's that smell? And I'd be like, oh, Bobby Flay is in the kitchen tonight. And they'd be like, Bobby Flay is in here? And I'd be like, don't it smell good? The most money I've ever made from a job? $1 million. That hasn't happened yet, but I know you see it. You see it. Anyway, this is my job now.